Speakers Bank Podcast. Our voices, our views.
Welcome to Speakers Bank, Our Voices, Our Views. Today we're doing a podcast with Gerard and Sue Stevenson as a couple living with a disability. Sue, you've mentioned that you've been married for 36 years. Does anything still surprise you about each other?
Maybe not after 36 years, but I guess just in general, Gerard's resilience and his willingness to get things done and to get motivated and get going. It's still quite surprising.
And Gerard, is there anything that still surprises you about Sue?
Oh yeah, many things. No, I guess I'm surprised at Sue's strength of character to bring to the challenges that we've faced over the last 5.5 years. But otherwise, no, we're fine.
How do you feel about your kids living overseas?
Well, I would rather have them here, but our job as parents is to get them out of the nest, and so they're doing well over there, so that's the best thing for them.
Yeah, there's so many great opportunities that they had, to play basketball in the US and to study over there. It's just great. But like Gerard, I'd rather have them here. But we do talk to them very regularly, so it's kind of probably more than when they're here that we talk to them. So it's actually a great opportunity for them.
Great. What are some of the challenges you've faced in navigating services for Gerard since the accident, like the NDIS?
Okay, so Gerard's not eligible for NDIS because he's over 65, even though we did send a letter because he was under 65 when he had his accident, when the bill was actually passed, but we just got the usual come back, no, he's over 65. Getting Gerard into supported accommodation was a challenge, given that he was over 65 and the cut-off point for somewhere here like ventilator accommodation support services was 64 and 11 months. So it took 6 months of discussions, what we say, to actually get Gerard into here, and they had to bend the rules because as soon as you turn 65 you become an aged care patient, and aged care certainly can't look after anyone in who's quadriplegic but also with a ventilator. So we've had lots of difficulties navigating systems, but we haven't given up, have we? We're the worn out record, we just keep asking the question and keep pushing the boundaries.
How do you support each other when the other person's having a bad day?
Well, I just say you're having a bad day and I'm out of here usually, and then come back 5 minutes later and have a discussion. But what about you? Don't bother.
No.
No?
No, well, I don't have a bad day.
That helps.
Maybe a bad week, but not a bad day.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's I don't know how we do it, but we kind of do, don't we?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
because we've been in business together for so long.
So you've developed your own communication
Yeah.
strategies.
We're quite direct with each other, and like we call it as we see it. Would you say?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Gerard, why do you dislike the word disability and prefer challenges instead?
Well, because once you accept the label, that sets the tone for how you do things. When our boys were 3 months old, I became their full-time carer. Now, I totally underestimated what that was about and how difficult it would be, but I never thought I'm disabled. I just accepted it as a challenge. And I had taught for many years now, there's when you go into the classroom, you've got 20 or 30 children in there with a whole range of abilities and skills. Now that's a challenge, that's what you're not disabled, you're just challenged. Same with this now, if I say I'm disabled, it means I'm not capable of things, but I am challenged. So I prefer to think of myself now as challenged, not able, not disabled or unable to do things.
I think one of the labels Gerard used early on was re-enabled. So you need to just find different ways of doing things than how you did it before. Would that be right?
It was the new normal.
The new normal, yeah. So if you decide you're disabled, well then that kind of cuts out a lot of things you can do. Whereas if you're re-enabled or challenged, you've got to find another way.
Yep.
Speaking of challenges, what are some of the challenges you've faced as a couple?
Getting into restaurants sometimes on Valentine's Day. Oh my gosh! But we got in and we got back out again. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
What other challenges have we faced?
No, I can't.
Well, getting around and getting into places, because some places say they're accessible when they're not. So but we manage. It's always good to do a little bit of a scout before you go if you can. I think we've had challenges with some of the processes around where Gerard lives and some of the way things are done, which I guess is the same thing. So we've certainly challenged a lot of those, would you say?
Yeah.
Trying to get, I think if you live in supported accommodation, it's all about, being person-centred, and sometimes there's talk about being person-centred, but it's actually run the way that the organisation wants to run it. So that's been a little bit of a challenge. Having the boys away, I think, has been a challenge.
Mm-hmm. And I've set a pretty serious target in terms of the vegetable garden here, and that's going to be a big challenge, but we're more than happy to take it on.
I think the challenge with that is getting support for Gerard, like someone to help him working on the computer, and and if I'm not around, who's going to take him out? So as in to places. So getting that staffing and the support around has probably been a big challenge too.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So how do you feel about having to make life-changing decisions for Gerard after the accident?
Okay, well that was, luckily I didn't have to do that, because certainly in Gerard's first week, it looked like, he had the decision to make whether to turn life support off or not, and it was like, I was dreading if they were going to ask me, but thankfully Gerard could make his own decision on that one. On the financial front, I've usually done most of the books and all of that, so that's just continued as normal, but I try not to think about it if I'm going to be put in that situation or not. I'm just going to have to go with that when the time comes, because that's a bit scary.
Yes, it is.
But hopefully Gerard has everything in place and I don't have to make that decision. Hint, hint.
Yeah, okay. I'll behave myself.
What made you not give up following the accident and live life with such a positive attitude?
Well, I've written 4 books about people who faced difficult situations and came through it. And I use those stories myself to maintain my attitude towards life and the challenges that I face, whether they're physical, mental or medical.
And what about you with your breast cancer?
Well, I think we've always lived with the attitude you're only here for a short time, so let's have a good time. And having that, I guess it's a focus where you just live each day for whatever you can get out of it. So, and just enjoy every moment. So that we've kind of continued through the breast cancer and then through accidents. Let's just enjoy every minute that we have, because who knows. And so we found out.
What sort of message can you give other couples living with a disability?
Jeez.
Well, I think support each other and be there for each other, yes.
Yeah, don't fall over.
Don't fall. And just keep talking and, you know, communicating with each other. I think it's pretty important, yeah?
Yeah.
And don't give up.
Great. Thank you so much, Drew and Gerard Stevenson. For more information, please contact Speakers Bank on 93140988 or www.speakersbank.org.au. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and like us on Facebook. Thank you.